I'm Mindi Abair. I play saxophone, write songs, sing, leader of Mindi Abair and the Bone Shakers. And yeah, you said it. We're on tour right now, so you get my dressing room. Happy to be here with you.
Well, thank you for joining us. So, as you mentioned that you're on tour, tell us a little bit about the tour you're on, where you're at now, and kind of, I know you're going to be heading to Atlanta. Kind of fill us in on the what's going on with your tour.
Absolutely. We just started this out day after Thanksgiving. We took the tour bus to Florida, and we've got 27 dates in 30 days. So 27 cities in 30 days. It's pretty crazy. But we're having so much fun. We're all friends. So I'm on the Dave Koz Christmas Tour, and he has a bunch of his friends join him every year. And so I'm joining him this year. It's myself, Keiko Matsui on keyboards, piano, and also Jonathan Butler on guitar and vocals, and Shalea, who's a singer, and you might not know of her, but she's just awesome. So we're having fun. We're making music together. We're doing our own stuff. I'm doing some of my older material as well as, you know, some of my newer material over the past probably 4 years with the Bone Shakers and stuff from our new Christmas CD. So it's quite a show. It's just a lot of aspects of music and just a lot of really cool, different vibes from everyone. It's really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, I know this show has been, the Dave Koz Christmas show he's been doing that for a few years now. Have you played on it before, or is this your first time?
This is my first time with Dave for his Christmas tour. And I mean, I've done a Christmas tour. I did it for 12 years with Peter White and Rick Braun, and we had a blast. You know, we would always come to Atlanta, have to go to Atlanta, come on. But I've taken off the last couple of years. I've been on the road with my band, the Bone Shakers, and we've been making records and just out touring pretty much nonstop. We've hit Atlanta a couple times, City Winery. And so, you know, I haven't been doing the Christmas tour thing for a couple of years. I really missed it. And Dave was nice enough. He asked me, hey, come on, you're doing a Christmas record, and would you come out with us and make some music? He goes, you know, you can rock that Christmas record on stage with us. So I took him up on it, and we're just having a blast. It's so fun.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So you mentioned that you have a Christmas album that you're also included in the production. So tell us a little bit about that album.
The album we made is a blast, and it's definitely not your dad's Christmas record. It's not fluffy bells and, you know, just light, airy songs. Nothing wrong with that, but this is not that record. We made a really cool, fun blues rock Christmas CD. And we called it All I Got for Christmas is the Blues. And that's the title track. So as Dave says every night during the show, he goes, here's Mindi to show you the other side of Christmas. So not every song is a blues. You know, there's a lot of joy and there's a lot of fun. You know, there's definitely a joyful side of the blues and rock and roll, but it's definitely, you know, music that you're gonna have fun to and dance and get crazy with, not just, you know, sit and have a glass of wine.
So what, I know people normally have, like you said, Christmas CDs that are kind of more chill. Why did you decide to go in that direction?
You know what? I've been out on the road with the Bone Shakers. We joined forces, you know, maybe three or 4 years ago now. We've made a live CD. We made our CD in the studio, the East-West Sessions, last year, and it's been successful, and we've been having so much fun. I mean, we won 8 Independent Blues Awards last year, including Artist of the Year, and we were Billboard, you know, number 3. We debuted with our last record on the blues charts. This year, you know, we decided to make a record that was us, and what would we make together that moved us musically. And so we all got together and came up with arrangements of songs we loved. I mean, that's what making a record is all about. And then we wrote some songs as well. And so there's 4 original songs, and then there's 5 songs that everyone knows and loves. So yeah, we made a record that we had fun making. debuted #3 on Billboard Blues, and it's #1 for the Roots music charts for the holiday album. So we're doing great. We're loving it. I hope you guys as much as we do.
Well, I'm sure we will. Now, you mentioned that you guys coming out with the new album, and it's a lot of blues on it, and it has a more blues flavor. But a lot of people may recognize you more as a contemporary jazz artist. Kind of what it kind of inspired you to kind of delve into more of that part of your repertoire?
I think you make music that you love and that inspires you throughout your entire career. And, I think that's what it's all about. You have to follow your muse. And earlier in my career, I was on the road with the Backstreet Boys and Duran Duran, and I was touring with different stuff. Sorry about this. Yes, hi, I'm doing an interview right now. Hi there, though. Oh, sure, come on back. See this? He's here to make my wardrobe all cool. All right. You gotta love it. It's real love. I know. So this is part of the interview. This is,
yeah, absolutely.
Cool. See the sparklies?
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is that your wardrobe back there?
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. That's Dave Koz isn't wearing that stuff.
Now,
but anyway,
are you picking out your own stuff for that, or is somebody like you have a costume person who gets your design together?
No, I pull from my wardrobe. So it's like I got a few things. I got a cool, red peace sign that is kind of rock and roll and fun that I'm going to wear. And yeah, it's a lot of outfit changes. So the one thing, Dave always loves wearing white, and I looked at him and went, it's not rock and roll. But I found me a cool rock and roll white dress. So right. It's all good. So sorry for the interruption.
Oh, no problem.
But it's kind of fun, right?
Yeah, that was cool.
But back to music, I think you follow your muse. And I literally grew up with rock and roll. I grew up, on the road. My dad put together 8 rock bands a year, and he toured, he put them out on tour. And so I grew up with that. And his band was a blues band that was, really high energy. It was really amazing. And I watched him. He was this sax player who, shimmied and shaked. And he was that guy who was walking the bar and doing all that stuff. I grew up with that. And I was a rocker girl all through high school. But when I got into college, I learned what jazz was. I had never heard of Charlie Parker. I had never heard of Miles Davis. And, my dad had Cannonball Adderley records. And I just thought, well, that's like not cool stuff, right? I got into all of that, and I just immersed, So I came out the other end, some fusion of, pop and rock and, and jazz. And that's what I found my career doing. I would play for everyone. I was out on the road with everyone, as a side man, from, Bobby Lyle in the jazz world to Jonathan Butler in the, R&B, South African world, to Tina Marie in the R&B world, to Adam Sandler, who was rocking and rolling, to the Backstreet Boys, just super pop, to Duran Duran, more super pop. And all that was early in my career. So I was kind of all over the map, but I made music that was in my heart, and it was definitely more pop and jazz influence. But, I've spent a couple of years moonlighting with all my rocker friends, and I realized, I go out on tour with Aerosmith and spend the summer with them, and then go off with Max Weinberg from Springsteen's band. And I'm, sitting in on my days off with my friend Waddy Wachtel's band in LA. And all these guys play for everyone from the Stones to Neil Young to Fleetwood Mac. What am I doing not bringing this to my own career? So you got to be true to yourself. And I asked some of those guys, I said, help me be me. Help me show everyone all of me. Can I really do that? And so Joe Perry came in from Aerosmith and played on my Wild Heart record. And Greg Allman wrote with me and recorded on my Wild Heart record. Booker T. Jones came in, Max Weinberg from Springsteen's band, Kev Moe, Trombone Shorty. You know what? They all helped me really show more of me. So I've taken that to kind of a new level with the Bone Shakers, and we're just having a blast. And yeah, it's not as jazz as my previous records. It's not as contemporary jazz as that. So it's fun that, you know, now on Sirius XM radio, I can be played on Watercolors and I can be played on Bluesville at the same time. It's kind of cool. So we're having fun with it, and it's expanded our audience. And I never want the jazz audience to feel like we're leaving them behind. We're not doing anything like that. But I found that most of our audience, they go to rock shows too. So it really hasn't offended that many people, I don't think.
Well, you know, blues and jazz are very closely related anyway, right? They kind of were born together in a sense.
Yeah, my friend.
Blues birthed jazz, right? Blues birthed jazz, so. No,
yeah, we always call, you know, blues, blues is the birth of it all, and jazz is just blues gone to college. So I went to college first, then I sat back and just went, you know, let's get down to the roots of it again. Let's have fun and get there.
Roots is a good term to use, because that's what you seem to came back down to, your roots. You know, you said with your background. And you also mentioned how your father was an influence on you in that aspect as well, which is also kind of interesting, because you worked with him on a collaboration you did on your book, which I thought was great.
Absolutely.
And, tell us about the title of the book and what it was about.
Well, I wrote a book with my father and another friend, Ross Cooper. It's called How to Play Madison Square Garden, A Guide to Stage Performance. And, you know, I realized that there were tons of books on how to play your instrument, or how to make it in the music business, or, you know, how to start a band, all that stuff. But there were no books on how to create your stage persona, what to do on stage, what not to do, you know, just how to create a live show that's representative of who you are, artist, no matter what you do. And so I figured I was kind of a special person in that world, that I've been on the road with some crazy, huge artists. I've played to hundreds of thousands of people in a night. You know, I've played to millions of people on American Idol. I've played to almost no one, playing on the street with my case open. I've seen it all. I've made every mistake. And I've watched everyone else do the right thing and make mistakes, and judged it from someone who does this. So I just figured, why don't I just start writing this stuff down? And, you know, maybe someday it'll become something. And a few years later, I had the book. And my dad helped me with it, and our friend Ross too, and they kind of came in, and we all put our heads together, and it was really fun to write a handbook. It's a fun handbook of how to communicate with an audience, and how to create something that people want to buy a ticket to your show instead of someone else. So I think it's a really cool book, and hey, if it can, you know, save a new artist a little time making some mistakes that they might have made otherwise, it's great.
Wow, it sounds like it'd be an excellent source for, like, as a virtual mentor for upcoming artists.
Yeah, actually a few colleges, Berklee College of Music, which is my alma mater in Boston, they carry it in their bookstore. And it's great for, you know, anyone in college. Obviously, you're kind of honing your skills, but a lot of, you know, band members get it. A lot of, you know, even people who are giving speeches in front of their, you know, boardroom, it really helps you. I mean, there's a whole chapter on, you know, what to do if you get stage fright. Of course, everyone deals with that in different ways. But I think, you know, it's a cool thing. And it's been cool for me. I'll go in and give speeches to different colleges or even corporations based on book. And it's, you know, it's a cool thing to kind of share what my life has been. My life has been on the road and on stage. I'm much more comfortable there than in a recording studio. I'm always, you know, nervous in a recording studio, like, oh, it has to be perfect. But yet on a stage, I just feel like it's all gonna be perfect no matter what. So it's good to kind of take my experience and pass it down.
Well, without going too much into revealing all the secrets of the books, are there like a couple of things that, you know, up and coming artists normally make, the major mistake they normally make, I guess, that they should try to avoid?
I mean, there's so much to think about. I think, you know, one of the mistakes people make is when you're an up and coming artist, you don't think about what you're trying to convey to an audience. You just get in front of them and think, I'm just going to play my music to them and they're going to like it or they're not. Whereas there are things that you can do to make your show special. You know, are you a singer-songwriter that writes songs about love and peace? Then surround yourself with things that are like that. Make a place that feels like that. You know, don't try and be like the huge light show, and don't try and be all rock and roll if you're not. You know, be who you are and show people who you are and connect with people. You know, conversely, if you're a huge rock band and, you know, you're just rocking and rolling and everything, maybe don't play the coffee shop down the street. You know, be who you are and figure out the best way to convey that to an audience. So I think that's one mistake that people make. They don't think about what makes me tick and who am I and what is my music and what am I trying to say to people. They just think, well, I've seen this on TV or I've seen this in someone else's concert. I should try to be that.
Wow. It sounds like, I mean, I guess that's not only applies to music, but just life in general, to be yourself, right? And to,
yeah. I think so many things go back to, you know, the stuff we were taught in kindergarten, you know?
Don't be what you're not. Well, Mindi, I appreciate you taking some time with us today. And just one more time, kind of tell us, for those who may be sitting on the fence about coming to the show this Friday at the Cobb Energy Center, kind of give us some insight on why we should make sure we show up to the show.
The show is so much fun. And whether you are a contemporary jazz lover or a blues lover or a lover of R&B or a lover of pop, this is an incredible show with immense musicians on stage. It's really fun to be a part of. I'm honored to be on stage with not only the artists, you know, who are by my side for this, that Dave Koz has put together, but the band. And, you know, the show will just blow your mind with the musicianship and the artistry. And it's just so fun. You know, I'm playing most of it, but I'm off stage for some of it too. And I'm watching, and it's really fun to just be an onlooker and be a fan. There's a lot to be a fan of. So Jonathan Butler is going to come up and just sing and play and just suck you in. And he's so incredible. And Keiko Matsui sits down at the piano and she's just, you know, magical. And Dave Koz comes out and he's just the ultimate host and musician, and he'll rock your world. And Shalea comes on, and I had never heard of her. Some of my friends had told me, but I'd never heard her in person. And she's just such a beautiful voice. And I promise I'll come on and play you some blues and rock and roll and some of my old stuff that's more jazz. And it makes for an incredible show. So definitely come out, and I promise fun.
All right. Well, I know the show is fun. I've seen it a few times, and I'm looking forward to you as the latest member of the band, of the show itself. But thank you, Mindi. Appreciate you joining us today. I know you have another show coming up tonight. I don't know if people still say break a leg, right? Is that still a good thing or bad?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.